Nanette, how you doing?
Hi, how are you?
John, great to meet you. Okay, all right, so look, I got a lot of information from you on the phone, okay? So I appreciate you being open. The more open you are, the more I can help you, okay? I just got to know a little bit more information. So I'm going to imagine we never talk.
Okay.
What I want to do is I want to recover some of that information because what I find is that when we recover it, a lot of times we uncover more details.
Okay.
The more detailed, the more precisely I can help you. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
okay.
Sounds good.
So let's start with getting out of high school and where you were at with your fitness. Kind of walk me through that journey up until this point.
So I was good. I was active. Yeah, it just happened. Like maybe, how long has it been since? Like maybe like 4, almost 5 years. Cause then, like I was going back and forth with like core and everything with like my son. So that's why it was always like, that's like when it started going. And then I gained a little bit, and then I was fine.
So wait, okay, so we got out of high school.
I was good, yeah.
You was working out, it was living a healthy lifestyle, or you weren't
No, I
working
wasn't
out?
working out. I was just active.
Okay, gotcha.
I was just active,
Okay.
not working out. I was just always on the treadmill.
Okay.
Anything, yeah. I was.
How
always
consistent were you doing that?
Because we had a treadmill at my house.
Did you use it?
Yeah, I used it all the
Awesome.
time.
Most people don't. That's why.
Yeah, no. I used it like all the time. I took advantage. I think I would do like an hour a day, like on the treadmill. Like I was good. And then.
So what were you doing on the treadmill though? I think that's
I was just
important.
like walking, running, but I did do like inclines.
Okay. Were you jogging?
I always had incline actually. I always did incline.
Were you jogging?
I would walk. So you know how like they would have like a circle? So I would walk until a certain amount, and then I would run.
Okay.
And then I would walk again, and then run again.
Okay.
I, like always switch it on and off.
Okay, so let me just tell you this: your style on cardio is on point. Like that's a good style that you have. Inclines are great.
Yeah.
Interval training is great because it burns calories. You probably looked this up already. It burns
Yeah.
calories, hours after you get off the treadmill.
Yeah.
Instead of just running 1 mile straight through, where you only burn calories while you jog.
Yeah.
You follow what I'm saying? So you're doing a better form of cardio
Yeah.
that's going to help you burn more calories, but it's also going to help you conserve muscle tissue. And I think that's important if you want to make changes. We don't want to lose muscle along the way.
Yeah. No.
Okay. So how long did you do that rhythm for, that lifestyle for?
I think for like after high school, maybe like I don't know actually how long I did it for.
Yeah, like
But
did you go for a good 4 or 5 years?
Yeah, I would say for like a good amount. I would say maybe like 4 or 5 years maybe.
And then what threw you kind of off track?
We got rid of the treadmill.
Okay.
That's what happened.
Okay.
We got rid of the treadmill, so then I had to start going to the gym.
Okay.
And
How was that for you?
like I would go on the treadmill at the gym, but it wouldn't be the same.
Yeah.
I would just like walk, run maybe a little bit, then walk. So I didn't push myself more than I would at my house doing
Okay.
it.
Let me ask you this question. When you worked out at your house and you had a treadmill in your house, it's very convenient. Did you do that on a strict schedule or just when you had a chance?
No, I did it more like early. I think in the mornings I did it.
Did you do it at a certain time or just kind of with the
it
flow
was
of your
kind
day?
of with the flow of the day.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes it a lot more difficult. That rhythm is a lot more difficult when you're doing that in a gym. Because it's not as convenient to just stop what you're doing. Oh, let me take a little break and get me a little cardio in. You can't just do that. You have to get ready, go to the gym.
Yeah.
Travel time. It's a lot more complex. And so a lot of people, when they go from doing at-home workouts and they try to get into a gym, they try to do the same volume of exercising that they were doing in their house, but they just don't fit it into their schedule because it wasn't structured before. You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the goal is when you're in a gym, obviously equipment's a lot more complex. Program design could be a lot more complex. So you're going to get a lot quicker results, a lot better results. But when you work out in the gym, the key is to work smarter so you don't have to work harder.
Yeah.
So so you can come here less and get the results you're looking for. Doing the things you were doing at your house. I mean, how many times a week were you doing that?
I was doing it 5 times because I wouldn't do it on weekends. I didn't do anything.
So strategically, for what you're looking to do, and I haven't even gotten into the details yet, I would really just need to see you in here 3 days a week for about an hour each day.
So, and that's like the thing, like now I'm out of breath for like just going up the stairs or just like if I ran up the stairs or if I ran down the stairs, I'm like out of breath. I just, like right now, I believe I'm like 170. When I was pregnant with my son, I was 140.
Okay.
So this is the biggest like that I've ever been in my whole entire life. So even with my son, it was just mostly him. And then the minute I was done, like it was fine.
Okay.
I went down.
Okay.
So,
what happened?
Well, I had like so much like drama that happened, and that's why personal problems.
Okay.
That's why it just started like getting worse. And then
Were you binge eating, kind of like to deal with the stress?
Yeah, like I just like eat for no reason, and I've noticed that lately too.
Okay.
So then I'll like tell myself, all right, you really don't want it. Like I'm good with stopping myself.
Okay.
It's just when like the motivation, I don't have that motivation right now. That's like pushing me to be like, all right, come on, like we can do it. But then, because my son, he's 12, so he does football, boxing, he does all that stuff, and like I can't. Even before all this, I couldn't even throw a ball, regardless.
Okay.
So
is it a strength thing, or do you have an injury?
Well, I always wanted. No. I just can't throw, and I can't catch. So.
Okay. Well, we can practice that.
So like I can't like keep up with him now, even if he wanted to go for like a run or like even me chasing him, like I can't. And I need to be stronger. So in my head, I have like scenarios like, what if something happened and I needed to lift him up? I wouldn't be able to even do that.
That's emergency situation.
Yeah.
You can't get back childhood years. That's what I tell people. Like seriously, like what would it do for you? Like what would it do for you if you could go for a jog with your son? Like think about that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like being able to go for a 2-mile jog and he actually gets a good sweat in and mom's doing it at the same time. What would that do for your relationship with your son? I have a child. I know it would be very positive. And so in my opinion, there's no reason why. I haven't heard any reason why so far you can't be there in a very short amount of time.
Yeah.
Okay? But you're going to have to understand that nutrition is a big part of this. So when you say you were binge eating, like just walk me through what you've been doing lately.
It's just junk food.
Walk me through lately. Give me a bad day and give me a good day.
If I'm having a bad day, I'll just eat like chips or.
So you wake up what time?
So I try not to eat until like 11 or 12.
And what time do you wake up?
I wake up. I start waking up at like 6:30. Like 6 is my first alarm. Then I'm like kind of, and then 6:30 because I have to wake up my son for him to go to school.
How is it getting up in the morning?
How's he getting up?
How is it for you getting up? Do you have a lot of energy to spring out of bed, or is it like a struggle in the morning?
Lately it hasn't been that bad because I've been making myself go to sleep early.
Okay.
But when I go to sleep at night,
you sleep good?
No, I'm tossing and turning.
Okay.
Yeah, like lately, this whole entire week, I've been tossing and turning.
Yep.
I went to sleep at like 12. Usually it was like a lot later than that, like 2, sometimes like 5.
So great news. Okay, and I'm gonna let you finish what you're saying, but
Okay.
I got because if I don't tell you now, I'm gonna forget.
Okay, go ahead.
One of the top, like when I ask people, what's the biggest difference you feel so far? Like a week, 2 weeks into exercising and eating healthy. The number one thing that people tell me is they're sleeping better at night. Okay, so I can tell you with confidence, there's about a 99.9% chance that in 1 to 2 weeks, the sleeping issues are going to go away. Okay, so just understand that because I see this all the time. Okay.
Yeah.
So you wake up what time?
At like 6. Like at 6, I'm like still in bed, but like
6:30.
I'm trying to get 6:30. I'm up because I have to get him up for him to get ready for school and everything.
Okay, and then you eat some chips around on a bad day. We'll go through a bad day and then a good day around 1
On a
o'clock.
bad day, I'll probably be like I think yesterday. It just wasn't like, I don't know. I think it was like 11.
Okay.
I don't really like eating in the morning.
And is that a belief about nutrition that you have, or is
No,
that
I'm
you're just not hungry?
in the
Okay, got it.
morning. So
Okay.
I feel like if I'm not hungry, I shouldn't eat.
Okay, I know. I've seen this 1,000 times. I know exactly what you. And I'm gonna explain all this to you. Okay.
Like, but what I did notice is that when I was doing like this little like, I had started this diet, but then I stopped because it was like, I think it was a holiday. I noticed that when I was eating in the morning and eating like I was eating, what did I have to eat? Egg whites and one regular egg in it with
So how many egg whites?
Well, I have the containers.
Okay.
So I just would pour some.
Okay. Just make a little omelet. So probably 4 or 5 egg whites and maybe 1 yolk.
And then what would I have? A little cup of fruit with a cup of oatmeal. And I would like make myself eat if I wasn't hungry, but it lasted me for the day. Like I was good, and then eating my lunch and my dinner, like that kind of like put me on track too. But I just don't get really hungry though. But when I was doing that, like eating the 3 times and the snacks, like it was like I've noticed a little different, like how just like eating or like not, because I prepared myself. So that's another thing, is that I have to prepare my food, because if I don't, I'm just gonna eat whatever that's there.
You understand the fundamentals.
Yeah.
You got it. Okay.
Yeah.
You're explaining the fundamentals to me. So, why do people come to me who are not working out on a regular basis? Okay, I'm just going to kind of walk you through this.
Okay.
And they're not hungry when they wake up. They're just not hungry. You know,
Yeah.
energy's not really where they want it. You know, they would like to sleep a little better at night. I want to tell you big reason. Okay, when they start exercising, what happens is the tissue on a microscopic level, when you exercise, it breaks down, it tears. Okay, those small tears is why you get sore, and that's the body has to repair those small tears. It's a good thing.
Yeah.
It's how you stimulate a little bit of muscle toning, muscle growth. Okay, so that repair process kicks your metabolism, your body's caloric needs on a daily basis into overdrive. So your body's a survival machine. When it feels that, oh man, we need calories to repair this muscle tissue, it's going to say, well, now we're not eating enough for that, okay, because now we're starting to get more active. The body's going to require more calories, and it's going to say, you know what, we need to eat more food. I'm going to start making that person hungry. Now, what people don't understand is when it comes to dieting, okay, you want to make sure you get enough food in a daily basis. If you don't eat enough calories or eat the right types of food, what's going to happen is, if all you're doing is counting calories and you're not eating the right calories, you're going to lose weight, but you're going to lose muscle and you're going to lose fat.
Yeah.
Because the body's turning catabolic. You're not getting the right nutrition to keep it in what's called an anabolic state, so it builds muscle. Are you following me?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't
I've
want to
read something like this. Yeah.
I don't want to confuse you, but I know you've looked into this stuff. 'Cause
Yeah.
I can tell by the way you're talking. Okay. So the goal is to feed the body the right nutrition at the right time of the day to keep the body in what's called an anabolic state
Okay.
as much of the 24 hours as possible. You're not going to get a full 24 hours unless you wake up and eat a meal. And I've had people do that. Okay, so I'm not going to have you do that, but for athletes, they need to do stuff like that, okay? So when you do that, that digestive process of processing food every few hours is an internal treadmill. And what happens is, when I first start working with people on nutrition, they're not hungry at first, and then they tell me, oh my God, I'm stuffed for the first couple of days because the digestive system is just not accustomed to digesting that volume of food. It's not a lot of calories, but it's more volume because it's clean food. And then about a week into it, they go, I don't know what's happening. I'm literally getting hungry every 3 hours. Now we got the internal treadmill moving. Now we got the digestive process on a time clock because we're feeding it consistently every few hours. That's when you start seeing accelerated results, okay? Have you ever been in that situation, like from the way I've explained it so far?
Before, like when I was eating healthier and I was working out, but that's when I had this, like, he was such a great trainer I had at Crunch, and then he left, and then I've tried other trainers, but it just wasn't the same.
Yeah.
And I didn't have that motivation.
What did you like? What made him stand out? Let me ask you that.
I saw results. Like I didn't even like muscles where I didn't even think I even had it, and so then, and I just felt so much better. Like I wanted to go and train.
You were sleeping better back then?
Yeah, I was sleeping better, and I just, it was like so much better. Everything was so much better.
Okay. Lunch? What time's dinner?
So I would skip breakfast. I would eat lunch around like 12:30. We'll say 12:30 because I have to prepare whatever I needed to prepare.
Okay.
It takes me like, maybe I've noticed it'll take me an hour to eat that lunch.
Okay.
Just because I'm just slow.
You're just not hungry, right?
Yeah,
You're just eating it because you know you need to eat.
Yeah, so then,
Yep.
so we'll say like 1:30 I would be done. And then I would have a snack when I would go pick up my son. We'll say like 4.
Okay.
I would have a snack. Sometimes I would get tired always around that time at
Okay.
4 o'clock.
Okay.
And then I would
And what would a snack be?
fruits.
Okay, what type of fruits are your favorite? What's your top 3?
I like bananas, but I heard they weren't that good for you.
So they have look, non-processed foods, all of them have a purpose in nutrition.
Yeah.
Bananas, I'm typically going to put bananas in a person's diet if they're trying to gain weight. Because it's a fruit that carries a huge sugar load. Okay?
Yeah, that's what I heard.
And so what it does is it causes your body to release excess what's called insulin, which can lead to more fat storage and actually muscle burning. That's opposite of what we want. We want to build muscle and we want to burn fat. So bananas do have their purpose, but not for every goal. Okay?
So I would do like strawberries and apples.
Okay.
I think maybe mostly apples because it's just quicker to just grab.
So-
Unless I already have the strawberries like cut up and everything, or
Okay.
because I like the strawberries, I like blueberries, raspberries, blackberries.
Berries are your best friend.
Yeah.
Let me just tell you that, okay? Berries do not carry a high glycemic load. They're not going to make a big impact on your body's insulin levels. So if you're going to turn to, I'm going to help you with all this, but the fruits we're going to be eating for the most part are going to be berries. Okay, because we want to stay away from those high glycemic loads from things like apples and bananas.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying we're never going to eat it again, no. That's not what
Yeah,
I'm saying, okay?
okay.
Let's just get you to a point to where you understand what these foods are doing to your body, and that's where you really start to learn how to gain control. And when you gain control of your body composition, because you're seeing the changes that your body have gone through, you've been eating certain types of foods, you start to recognize that if you eat a banana, okay, you can literally watch the fluid weight over the next 3 days change in your body because you're so in tune with the foods that are going in and what it's doing to yourself. We're going to teach you that. Okay, I know it sounds complex, but we're going to simplify it for you. Okay. Dinner. What time's dinner?
Like 6, I think.
Okay. What
Or
would that be?
sometimes it's later. Either 6, 7, or 8. 8 it will be the latest.
Okay.
It's mostly 6, I would say. And it would be right now, since I'm not doing, if I wasn't watching myself, it's just whatever.
Okay.
That's so I eat rice like almost every day. That one is white rice, but usually like I buy when I'm eating better, I'll buy like brown rice, like
Okay.
those minute brown rice. You just warm it up and
Yep.
then I would have 1 cup of that. I don't eat seafood, no seafood whatsoever. Steak, I'm like once in a blue, but I love chicken.
Okay. Good.
So I would mostly just eat chicken.
Fish.
No fish. no.
Okay. Eggs. Yeah. We eat
Yeah, eggs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Turkey.
Turkey, yes.
Okay. I'm no pork. I don't do pork.
No,
Okay.
no, no.
Not a big fan of pork.
My mom never really gave us pork.
It's so high in fat. You know what I mean? It's not really. It's
we
a dirty
only
meat.
do it like maybe once in a blue if it's at the holiday.
Okay.
Somebody would bring it.
Okay.
But other than that, it's usually just chicken
Okay.
or steak.
Okay.
But I don't really eat steak that much.
Let me ask you this question. Have you ever been 100% confident that the eating, let's just say regimen you were on was the right one to help you reach your goals? Or have you always been kind of foggy, lost in the fog a little bit? Like, I don't know if this is working. I don't know if this is the right thing for me. You kind of just been following advice here and there.
So I know like what I'm eating I know how I can eat that's like good. I just don't know like other options. Like I don't want to be tired of the same chicken every single day.
Okay.
Or
So variety is important to you.
yeah.
Okay.
But I'm like really picky. So, and my mom even said it, and I even say like the biggest thing that made me gain all the weight is just junk food. Like I would just buy chips or ice cream.
Processed food.
Yeah.
Are you
I
willing?
love fries and chicken tenders. Like if I go
Yeah.
to a restaurant, that's usually what I'm getting.
I'm from the South. I'm from
Uh-huh.
South Louisiana. Everything we eat is fried. Trust me, I grew up eating fried chicken, fried shrimp, fried everything. Okay, so I understand. I love it, but I know what it does in my body.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so, do I eat it? Yes, but it's on a very rare occasion
Yeah.
that I'm going to put that kind of oil inside of my body. Okay,
Uh-huh.
so you got to understand that when I'm going to do your nutrition today, I'm going to give you 4 pages of options to choose from when it comes to foods.
Okay.
4 pages. Okay. I don't think you're going to get bored with 4 pages of options. Okay.
Okay, yeah.
The goal is, okay, now we track the macros. The macros is what's key. Okay, we got to make sure that you're getting enough protein to keep your body anabolic, to support muscle growth. Okay, we got to make sure that you're not eating too much fats. And if we are eating fats, are we eating the healthier fats? There's different types of fats.
Like I make myself eat avocados. I hate avocados because I just don't like the texture. But I make myself
What
eat
is
it.
avocado doing for you?
Well, I just know it's a good fat. So, like when I was trying to eat better, like when they would say to put like avocado, have like at least a little bit of it to have like that good fat. I would make myself eat it, but I don't really.
But
Like,
there's
I
a-
don't mind like eating things that I just can't eat seafood.
So, and that's fine. Yeah, we don't have to feed you any seafood, okay? But when it comes to food items like avocado, what we got to teach you is what are alternatives that are going to give you that same nutrition that you would get from an avocado. Very similar, okay? What are the macros? An example would be an egg yolk, okay? So instead of doing 1/3 cup avocado, you could do 1 egg yolk, and you'll get basically the same macros out of those two, okay?
Would the egg yolk be mixed with egg whites?
So I'm just measuring macros versus macros
Yeah,
of those specifically, just the yellow and 1/3 cup avocado.
Okay.
You follow what I'm saying? So like I could interchange those in somebody's nutrition because if you don't like avocado, most people like eggs. Okay, I can
So
put
I
egg
don't like egg yolk.
yolk. So you only like the whites.
I only like egg whites,
Okay.
but when I was trying the 1 egg and then the rest egg white, I didn't mind it. It was like okay because I felt like the egg white
can mix it.
overpowered it. Yeah.
So
So
okay, so instead of doing like, and I'm gonna walk you through this, but people would do egg whites and avocado or egg whites and 1 yolk. It's the same, basically the
yes,
same
that's
macros.
what I was doing. Yeah, and
right.
I was able to do that.
Okay, and now other replacements might be 1 tablespoon of almond butter or 1 tablespoon of peanut butter. That's going to give you very similar macros also. Okay,
I don't mind both of them.
so that's what I'm saying. There's so many different options.
Yeah.
We just got to teach you on
And
what's
that's
similar.
what was the thing. Like I didn't know another option for. Like I hate cottage cheese.
Okay,
I didn't know another option for cottage cheese, so I would just like skip that. And I know you're not supposed to, but
I'm not a
sometimes
big
you
fan of
need
dairy.
that.
I'm not a big fan of dairy.
So, and that's another thing
Okay.
is I don't. It hurts my stomach, so I have GERD.
Okay.
So that like bothers my stomach. But milk isn't really good for you anyway.
It's not.
So my son, I've been making sure he just drinks almond milk. He's not really a dairy person.
Okay.
Too, so I've been trying to take that out of.
So I say let's stay away from dairy.
Okay.
There's no
Sounds
need to
good.
eat dairy. Okay, so many people do that, and I'm like, why? Okay, I mean, to me, it puts a. Let me tell you what it does. Okay, so when I work with bodybuilders, I have to make sure they stay away from dairy, because what it does is it'll actually put a layer of fat underneath the skin, the sub-Q. It'll make it it'll make it thick and hard. You probably see people like that where like they're like big, but it's like super hard fat. Okay. That comes from a lot of eating a lot of dairy more than likely. Okay, so what happens is we call that thick skin. That's what dairy will give you. So what we want to do is allow the body to break up the muscle tissue. I mean the fat tissue. Start to break it up. Start to dissolve it over time. And what will happen is as you lose weight, if you do this correctly, you'll stimulate some muscle growth. That takes time, but the fat tissue itself will start to dissolve, and it'll start to get softer and softer. So this is where people have the misconception. When you lose weight and tighten and tone at the same time, you're going to get a little bit more jiggly before you get more tight. That's just the way the human body tightens up, because you lose the fat faster than the skin actually tightens up.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, so understand that that's part of the path of getting to where you want to get to, because some people, if they don't know that, they get to that point, they're like, wait, why is it a little more saggy? Well, now you understand why. Does
Yeah.
that make sense?
Also, I've been doing, when it hits like 12 o'clock, like green juice. I have this like powder that I've been doing, just mixing it with water, and then
That's fine.
I've been taking it. That's fine.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah,
Okay.
we're gonna go through all that at the end.
Okay.
But what I want to do is I want to go a little bit further into support. Like, are you gonna have a support system for this, or is this something you're doing for yourself?
It's something I'm doing for myself, but I know my son will support me. Like my whole family would like support, make sure I don't eat. certain
So your
stuff.
family lives at the house?
Not all of them, but they would call me, or like they'll be like, "Oh, make sure you're not eating that." Like when I've asked them before to help me with that, but my son, like, since me and him are always together,
Okay.
he'll make sure definitely. Like if I tell him, give him a list of things I can eat, like he'll make sure for me not to eat any of that kind
Okay.
of stuff. So
Okay, that's
yeah.
good. So he supports you in making decisions on all
Yes,
this, okay,
yes.
and getting you in the right
So
position to be
he's
successful.
really another reason why I'm like, all right, like, Nana, you need to step out, because like he even said it. He's like, Mom, like, you know, like I love you and everything. He's like, but you know, you're gaining weight and stuff like that. So I'm like, okay, yeah, you're right. Like, all right, let me actually do something about it now. Let me not just say Monday.
You're so busy making sure he's taken care of,
Mm-hmm.
you're neglecting yourself. I see this all the time. I see this all
Yeah.
the time with parents who have kids in sports. You know,
Mm-hmm.
he's busy every afternoon. You're busy making sure he's in the right position to be successful at what he does.
Yeah.
But then you neglect yourself, and that's what
Yeah.
he's saying.
Yeah.
We got to fix that.
Yeah.
Okay, because you don't want to fall apart in the process. That's what
I
I'm telling you.
know.
So let's go through all the different ways that we can help you. I want to make sure you understand that there's multiple things we can do here. Okay. We obviously want to tighten the tone. Okay, because that's what you called for. You said I
Yeah.
want to lose. How much? It was 30 pounds.
Really, how much? Like I know, just as much as I'm like happy about it. Again.
You want to look in the mirror and go, okay, I like what I see.
Yeah. So I would say like 30 pounds or 40.
We'll calculate
I don't know,
it
we'll
in a
see,
minute.
yeah.
Okay, but that's just in your mind right now. We're thinking about 30 pounds.
Yeah.
Okay. Now you said cardiovascular endurance. That you were getting winded going up and down
Yeah.
stairs. We've been seeing a lot of that with the COVID. It's been very, very common.
Yeah.
So we actually have a system that we put in place called a 3-minute system, and so we actually track progress on cardiovascular endurance on a monthly basis. And so we'll get your starting measurements on your cardiovascular endurance, and then we'll track that every 30 days to make sure we fix it, because I don't know how much you follow the COVID situation. Cardiovascular endurance is very important right now.
Yeah.
You got to have healthy lungs, okay? So we've already implemented a program here specifically to help people. So we're going to put you in that program to make sure that we
Okay.
improve that cardiovascular endurance, okay? What about flexibility? Do you find you've lost some flexibility since you haven't been moving around as much?
Yeah. Definitely.
Okay, and what about aches or pains?
I know when I start, I know my knees are gonna start hurting me at first.
It happens at first?
Yeah, and then as it's just because it's not used to like all the moving like up and down or anything.
So knee pain, that's a big
Yeah,
one,
but
okay?
then after that, it goes away like once it's used to the pattern again. Because I've noticed that when I was working out again, like when I was doing F45 and going to the gym, and it was hurting me at first, and then it was fine again. Like it stopped hurting me.
Okay.
So I'm also taking vitamins for my bones.
Good.
As well, so.
Good. Okay. What are you taking for joint support?
What am I taking?
I'll tell you what. Can you just send me everything that you're taking?
Yeah.
So that
I'll
way I
just
can
take a
review it.
picture
You know what I mean?
of-
So you don't have to
yeah,
try to sit here and remember milligrams,
yeah.
the type of stuff. Okay.
Okay.
So let's put that on the list. We'll put this down as a task. We call that micronutrients. And the way you send it is when you take a picture of it with your phone, take a picture of the front label, and then take a picture of the ingredients label. And
Okay.
just send those together.
Okay.
And just send me each bottle. That way I can look at it and tell you, hey, look, I like this, I don't like this, add this. You know what I mean? Help you out with that, okay? Knee pain. Okay, so let's talk about that. When you say you had pain, was it pain while you were working out or pain all the time, 24 hours a day?
No, it was just working out.
Okay, so just
Yeah,
as soon as
in
you
the
were done working
beginning,
out, it went
yeah.
away.
It was in the beginning, and then it would go away.
Okay.
At the end.
And was it squats that was
Yeah,
making
it was
your
like
knees
if
hurt?
anything to do with like squats or like lunges or.
The majority of the times when we see that happen with people, it's they are moving into movements that prematurely they're not ready for them. Okay, the body, the tendons, the joints, the muscular strength around the joints, the flexibility. All of these different areas are not prepared to handle that type of load out the gates, and so a lot of times people are steered into doing things that they probably shouldn't be doing in the first couple of weeks. Okay, and so when you do this thing correctly, you shouldn't have a whole lot of pain unless you have chronic arthritis, something like that. But if you're healthy and young and you don't have those major issues, we should be able to eliminate most of that knee pain and make sure we don't have to deal with that.
Yeah,
That's
it's just like in the beginning of when I ever.
But you got to understand that pain is your body telling you something's wrong. It's your body saying, "Hey, red flag."
Oh, I thought it was just because it's not used to it. That's why.
But you think about it. Your body doesn't want you to beat up your knees.
Yeah.
And so if the muscle's not strong enough, that's your body signaling to your brain, "Hey, look, we need to slow down because we're injuring the joint." And joint injuries don't happen like that. They happen slowly over time.
Yeah.
Before you know it, boom, you got arthritis. Wait, what happened? All those days I was hurting, that's my body trying to tell me to stop.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Makes sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So flexibility is something we're going to look at. We're going to measure it also. We have a flexibility program that we measure people, make sure flexibility gets fixed. People have been on break for COVID. Everybody's coming back with flexibility issues also. The knee pain we're going to fix. Nutrition, that's an area you probably want us to kind of give you some guidance in. Okay. What about experience with like strength training?
I've never done strength training. Like I've used like the dumbbells, or they would have like a pole and I would have it on my back and do lunges with it. But other than that,
so dangerous if you don't understand what you're doing.
Well, no, I would do that with my trainer.
Good. Okay. Because that's very risky if you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah, no.
A lot
So
of
I
issues
never.
there.
I don't use the machine, only the treadmill, or maybe what else do I use? I hate the stairs.
Not a lot of strength training unless you're with a trainer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Only with a trainer. Yeah.
From what I've heard so far, you've basically gotten on track, fallen off track, gotten off track, gotten on track, fallen off track.
Yeah.
Have you kind of ridden that roller coaster?
Yeah.
How many years have you been riding that?
Maybe I would say like 3 years. Yeah, 3 or 4 years. 4 years. I would say that. Yeah.
Okay. Let's get off the roller coaster.
Yeah.
And I know the key to this is educating you on how to be confident to come in here and know you're doing the right thing safely in the strength training. That's the key to long-term success. We're going to do cardio. It's a big part of what we're going to do. But the key to a permanent change is learning resistance training. Now, is that powerlifting? No. It's just healthy lifestyle resistance training, putting the muscle under tension, stimulating a little bit of muscle growth, because we want to change body composition, not just lose weight. If you lose weight, you don't get more toned.
Yeah.
You hit a plateau in 2 to 3 months. How many times have you hit a plateau?
Yeah.
Okay, that's because the body has basically lost weight, but muscle and fat. When the muscle came down, metabolism directly correlated. It followed and came down also. So you either have to work harder and longer or eat less to keep getting results. Have you been in that situation?
Yeah, so I've never been new. I thought it was just like mostly just cardio you needed to do. I didn't know until like actually recently that I've been like researching things that strengthening is a big part of like helping with everything, like toning and everything like that.
So this is confirming your suspicion, right?
Yeah,
You came here and I'm like telling you the same
I've
thing.
never even touched it. Like I've never even bothered to even go that way. And also I didn't know how to do it.
Okay.
So I just I wouldn't ask anybody either.
That's it.
'Cause that's just like not something I would do is ask somebody.
So let me explain big picture, macro view on what we do, okay? There's 3 basic pillars that we follow and we help people with. One is the knowledge pillar, okay? It's about giving you the knowledge to start safely, continue to be safe, continue to see results, not hit a plateau, and get to a point to where you're educated that you can now design an effective strength training regimen, cardio regimen, and nutrition regimen on your own. That's knowledge. We're going to help you there, okay, because you're going to need some help with that. Accountability, okay. A lot of people have issues with week-to-week accountability. We have multiple, and I'm going to show you in a minute, multiple measurements and tests we do on a monthly basis, okay, to where you actually not only see the results in the mirror, you see the results in metrics, you see the results in numbers. And so what that does for someone is that holds them accountable. We also schedule people 2 weeks out and give, if you want a certain time slot, you can have that time slot. Nobody's going to take that time slot. So locking in those times 2 weeks out at all times typically is a great move for people mentally, because they know every Tuesday and Wednesday and Friday at this time they have an appointment, they're going to show up. Okay, they're not going to show. They're not going to not show. Okay, and then intensity. So you liked having a trainer because the trainer pushed you and motivated you. You did more than what you would do on your own. It's motivation, okay? That's something that we help people with also. We understand that's a major part for most people is they come in here, and if they don't work with someone, they have the most boring workout and don't even really feel anything. They come in here and work with somebody, they feel like they're, in a good way, almost going to die when they're walking out the door. And they like that because they feel like they had a great workout, okay?
Yeah, and that was the thing with the trainer I had. That's what he always made me like I was gonna die, but it was like good because then I saw results. The other trainers I had afterwards, like sometimes I wouldn't even sweat at all, not even break a sweat, or just like no muscles would hurt. It would just kind of feel like I could have figured that out, or I could have done something. But so that's what.
So we have a system here that can keep the intensity high while stimulating muscle growth at the same time. Okay, and we call it the isolating. Okay, so we're going to isolate the muscles with active rest system. Okay, so basically you go through an isolation movement, and then between the sets of isolation movements, you're doing some type of active rest. Okay, so you never stop. You follow what I'm saying? But you're doing the right things to tear down muscle tissue so we can stimulate muscle growth, because we have to have target training. We can't do whole body workouts to stimulate muscle growth. We got to break it up.
And so my other trainers, it was always kind of like the same thing. The one trainer that I liked so much, it was always something different. And like he would even look at things, like if I would ask him, oh, can we do this? He would even look up things for the next time I see him. It would be like something to work on that. For my other ones, it was just like always the same thing. So I feel like my body got used to that. So it was just like, okay, this is nothing.
So you went from a professional trainer
to
amateur trainers. That's what happened. Okay, I'm just telling you, okay? So you see the things I'm explaining to you, and now you're understanding why you got results with the first trainer. Okay? We have that same philosophy here. Okay, and so you can't be a part of this team unless you run that type of philosophy, because that's how this program is built. Okay, so you're going to get all of that plus more, I promise. Okay. Let's see. Okay, medical conditions. Anything?
So as of right now, but I don't know if it's just.
Let me text my team, because I was supposed to do a conference call, and just let them know that we are not going to be doing a conference call. Okay, because I want to make sure that I do not miss or make you wait for this. I want to help you out.